Trailer Thursday, where we are going to look at something that I've had a couple of my friends telling me about repeatedly. Cyberpunk 2077, official world premiere trailer from E3 2018. I made them tell me nothing about it, so I know jack. Let's go!
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues: sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else.
Okay, I like the music.
Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion. But it's there, just around the corner, and it keeps you going. It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh my god! What the hell? Oh! Okay! Okay, wow. Let's take a step back. Let's take a step back and go to GameSpot to see what GameSpot News has to say about this. So, CD Projekt Red's next major title, Cyberpunk 2077, might still be an RPG where choice is paramount, but it's nonetheless a massive departure from the developer's previous efforts on the Witcher series. Now, I haven't played The Witcher because I'm not a huge fan of medieval fantasy games, but the people who I have seen playing it have loved it, and I've seen people extolling The Witcher through the roof. I mean, hell, it's even getting its own Netflix series now with Henry Cavill, who is an amazing actor, but let's not go there. He's not. I don't think he's right for the role. Instead of lush forests, picturesque fields, and towering mountains, the devs are creating a world set in the concrete jungle of Northern California in the distant future. Unlike a lot of fiction focusing on a darker future, Cyberpunk 2077 aspires to move away from grimdark and towards a more exuberant but equally cynical vision for a future where capitalism and technology has run amok. Inspired and influenced by the original Cyberpunk 2020 pen and paper RPG, 2077 extrapolates many of the themes and iconography while capitalizing on the developer's skill set for crafting dense and visually rich environments. We saw a near hour-long gameplay demo behind closed doors at E3 2018, showcasing many of the game's systems and locales. It came out impressed by the scope of CD Projekt Red's ambitious project. But now gameplay has just been revealed during the live stream, allowing everyone to see just what the fuss was all about during E3 and Gamescom. Set in an alternate universe, 2077, you'll take on the role of V, a vagabond and hustler living in the bustling night city located between San Francisco and Los Angeles. You undertake sketchy gigs to fund cybernetic enhancements and pay off debts from society's most unsavory characters, and dive further into the seedy underbelly of the Technopolis and surrounding areas, all of which are run by factions and megacorporations vying for power. Unlike previous games from Projekt Red, your protagonist is entirely who you want them to be. At the beginning of the game, You'll be able to create a custom character, choosing their gender, characteristics, and picking backstories, along with tweaking particular stats. The open world of Night City is a massive urban environment, encompassing several regions with different warring factions. With, according to the devs, no load times, you'll be able to freely explore the city both on foot and in your vehicle, even engaging in high-speed shootouts on freeways, tightly packed streets, and alleys leading to some of the more unsavory parts of town. During the demo, V traveled to a gang hideout with their close associate Jackie, an opposing but ever-jovial ally to find a missing cyborg. Things quickly went south as the player engaged in a shootout with a gang of scavengers running a black market harvesting operation. Action looked punchy and impactful, with V sliding in and out of cover with bits of the environment, including walls tearing apart from all the gunfire to get the jump on the bandits. Sticking to its RPG roots, attack damage numbers pop up in real time when attacking enemies, which takes into account the statistics of your current loadout. After taking out the gang, V and Jackie bring their target outside to wait pickup from the trauma team, a group of heavily armed EMTs assigned to the super wealthy of Night City. Experiencing all these aspects of Cyberpunk lore took some getting used to, as key terms and locations were referenced quite often. However, the core concepts behind them are familiar enough to get a handle of. The heavy sci-fi aesthetic, where advanced technology gives people some extraordinary abilities, gives it a very familiar vibe akin to CD Projekt's past fantasy games. Like a heavy, seeing the setting in action showcased the game's superb visual style and aesthetic, which feels like a heavy contrast to the other dark and gloomy cyberpunk fiction like Blade Runner, Altered Carbon, or Johnny Mnemonic. Funny thing, Blade Runner heavily influenced Altered Carbon, the movie, well, not the movie, the Netflix series, based on, frankly, a book by British author Richard K. Morgan that is even darker than the series. And a hell of a lot better, but that's just my opinion. Back to the article. In Cyberpunk 2077, there's a lot more variety on display, which plays with many of the subgenre's familiar tropes. Cyberpunk is deeply entrenched in its PC RPG roots, and the Witcher devs want to lean in harder on the more adaptive and varied styles of storytelling from their past games, with many of your decisions altering the course of your character's journey in strange ways. 2077 features an involved dialogue system where you'll be able to make choices that can determine your path towards a number of different outcomes. In the dialogue system, you can show off different facets of V's personality as you appear imposing, curious, or outright lie to other characters in order to get what you want. However, certain characters are able to turn the tables and use some similar tricks against you. During a character interaction, which can be avoided entirely if you choose, V is taken captive by a Millicore agent who has one of her bodyguards hacked into the main character. This invasive hack made certain dialogue choices more difficult, with the bodyguards being able to tell when the main character was telling the truth or not. After cutting a deal with the corporate agent with some non-confrontational options, V headed into an engagement with the Maelstrom Gang, a group so heavily upgraded that they have the appearance of neon-lit ghouls. The theme of transhumanism is one of the core pillars of the game, and you're constantly seeing the impact of technology on society, which also plays a role in V's development. Cyberpunk 2077 features many familiar RPG systems and mechanics, such as leveling up, skill checks, and loot, including some nasty high-tech weapons like the assault rifle with homing bullets. But it has a mostly loose approach to character growth. You don't pick classes, such as Cyberpunk 2020's Fixer, Techie, and Nomad archetypes, but instead outfit your character with new tech enhancements they'll need at any given time. You can give your character a set of outfits that offer street cred, reputation experience points that open up places in the city, along with visiting the local Ripper Dock to outfit yourself with new parts. Dropping by Dr. Victor's spot in a back alley near V's apartment, we saw a few of the enhancements you can get, after choosing a new cybernetic eye which added a zoom function and a target analyzer that allows you to see the level and stats of other characters. The ensuing upgrade sequence was gruesome, as the Ripper Dog pulls out V's old eye with its vision still engaged, showing a full view of the protagonist lying on the operating seat. This upgrade can come in handy, as you'll occasionally wander into high-level characters that can pummel you easily. While exploring the Maelstrom hideout, V utilized a number of bizarre but powerful enhancements and tools, such as a hacking skill that allowed them to hijack an enemy's internal memory to steal precious info, along with a set of combat drugs that activated a bullet time effect. During one moment, V hacked into an enemy's weapons to disable it remotely, and followed up with a set of advanced acrobatics to land an attack on the unsuspecting foes using a set of arm blades, like the ones shown during the game's original teaser trailer, and like the ones used in Deus Ex, I believe is the game. While this section led to the demo's most action-packed moments, such as a boss fight that showcased feats of cybernetic skill chaining, and some of the game's most powerful weapons, like the double-barreled shotgun that fired through walls, there are apparently many different approaches to take. The developers stressed throughout the demo that many of the events and sequences shown were optional, and while the shootout in the Maelstrom hideout or making deals with the mega corporations can happen, they'll play out much differently depending on the player's choices. The E3 2018 demo for Cyberpunk 2077 was overwhelming with all its detail, but it did give us the impression that there was a large world with all sorts of systems to explore and mess with. The setting and some gameplay ideas are certainly a big departure for CD Projekt Red, but also has a number of cool and visually stunning details that show off incredibly rich world to jump headfirst into. The game has been a long time coming, and we're excited to see more of it soon, and hopefully not too much later. Okay, so I'm super excited. We have a super short trailer to rewatch, and I will deliver my verdict. Where there's a will, there's a way. I hate it when YouTube does this. Haha! You cannot defeat me!
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues: sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else.
Like I said before, this music got me.
It's all true, but everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion, but it's there, just around the corner, and it keeps you going.
Oh.
It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
Wow. Wow. Boom. Okay, right off the bat, I can tell you guys what I'm thinking. I am in love. I live for games like this. I usually am not a first-person kind of gamer. This could do it for me. I was super pumped about Detroit Become Human, and I was really upset when I found out it wasn't going to be on the PC. And I'm a huge fan of the cyberpunk dystopian world and the philosophical ideas of transhumanism and posthumanism, which I could absolutely go on for an extended period of time about in another video. Because this is not the video to do it in. What do I think about Cyberpunk? I think if you're a fan of high speed, high variable, very flexible stories in what looks to be a truly phenomenally detailed world. This is absolutely the game for you. I cannot wait to get my hands on it, and I absolutely cannot wait to showcase it to you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Before I let you guys go, the announcement, I have a little announcement for you guys and a question. I love science fiction for the cultures and the societies and the stories that you can tell about them. And I hope that that is what many of you guys and girls like about science fiction as well. I am interested in doing, and I leave this up to you guys. I will put a poll in the video. What science fiction cultures would you like me right off the bat to do videos about? I look forward to hearing your feedback and having more content to bring to you guys. Until next time, everybody, keep watching trailers, keep gaming. I'm Z, and this is Vucari Games. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.